you are fit and fine. Today we will be discussing a new chapter, that is subject-verb agreement. But before discussing this chapter, I have really important things to say to you. Okay, we have already read the chapter verbs, I think almost 2 weeks ago. But in the last class, I provided a study material which consisted of a rectification from that chapter regarding incomplete verb. But at that moment, on that day, I really forgot that in exercise 1 also there was the portion regarding intransitive, transitive, and the questions from those things, transitive, intransitive, and incomplete verb. I really missed it. I really forgot to provide a rectification from exercise 1. Okay, and one more thing, incomplete verb, I again studied the thing, and I want to say that you don't need to be that much confused about intransitive and incomplete verb. I am saying this clearly. Okay, do remember this, that there are some verbs mentioned in your book like be verbs, appear. Be verbs you know, appear, seem, and look. These are the verbs which will be called to be incomplete verbs. Okay, only these verbs you need to check if it has been used here, and only these verbs will be called to be incomplete verb and not intransitive. Other than that, if you see any other verb other than these verbs mentioned in the portion of incomplete verb, you can easily try to find whether that verb is taking an object or not, and depending on that fact it will be called transitive or intransitive. But only these verbs, these be verbs, appear, seem, and look, they will be called incomplete verbs. Okay, we try to remember these 4 things. Be verbs, you know the be verbs, which are the be verbs, and seem, look, and appear. Okay, these are the other 3 verbs besides be verbs, which will be called incomplete verb. This is the whole thing, and in another book I really found a very good explanation on this particular topic. So if you want that explanation, do let me know in the live class. I will try to provide that. Okay, and the exercise 1, I think almost 5 or 6 words were there that needed some rectifications. I have rectified them, and I deleted the study material because it will be helpful for you, I guess, if I provide the whole study material again. Otherwise, it becomes really difficult to read. As there are quite a few rectifications, it will be difficult for you to find the rectified answers in another study material and the other answers in one study material. So as there were quite a few rectifications necessary in that needed in that particular study material, I have removed the study material that was provided on the chapter verbs, and I have written everything clearly again, and am attaching the answer keys of the chapter verbs again in today's study material. Okay, I thought it would be helpful for you if you get all the answers in one study material, because quite a few rectifications were there. I really forgot to rectify the exercise 1 portion. I missed that incomplete verb. The questions from that portion were also included in exercise 1 also, Okay, this was the thing. And before subject verb agreement, today we will be discussing another thing also. And about this incomplete verb, if you have any doubt, do let me know in the live class. Okay, and this is the thing only that I just explained, nothing else. Even after that, if you have any doubt, and regarding the study material, if you have any doubt, and I know so many of you, most of you are really attentive, you download the study material every day, I would suggest you to delete the previous study material on verb chapter. I have provided everything, otherwise you will be confused if there would be 2 study material. Right now delete that one, pause the video and delete that one, because you are going to get the answers in this particular study material of today. Okay, now we will read. We have already learned how to write an unseen composition, how it takes an appropriate title, then the whole body is divided into 3 paragraphs. At first comes the introduction and then the main body where we describe the key points and then the conclusion. We have already learned that even before pre-half yearly examination, and I have also attached the format again and again, I think twice or thrice. In the previous study material also it was attached, and today we will learn a new thing, that is narrative essay writing. Okay, it is another type of, this is another type of unseen composition. Now what is narrative essay writing? A narrative, in a narrative the writer describes one of his experiences, his own experiences that he had to face in his life. Okay, he describes his experiences, own experiences, so the writer is obviously a part of that narrative, right? When I am describing an incident, an experience or an event of my life, obviously I am a part of it, right? And it will be told in a format of storytelling. Obviously I am not talking about story writing. Okay, remember I am just saying the pattern will follow the kind of the pattern of storytelling, as if I am telling you the story of my experience, because I am a part of it and I am sharing my own experience or an event that occurred in my life, right? So this is interesting, and the particular narrative essay that we are going to learn, that is autobiographical narrative. I am sure that most of you are already acquainted with the term autobiography. What is an autobiography? In an autobiography, actually the writer shares his or her own experiences, the experiences that took place in his or her life, right? That may be regarding anything, his birthplace, mother, father, so many things, other things. Okay, so that is an autobiography where the writer himself or herself describes his or her own experiences, and obviously he or she is a part of that autobiography. So this is the autobiographical narrative. I am going to provide, I guess, the autobiography of a coin. I guess this topic will be provided as a sample. Go through that topic very minutely. You will get a few ideas how to write an autobiographical narrative. I have explained, but if you learn through an example, things will be clearer for you. Okay, so autobiographical narrative, suppose as I said that probably I am going to provide the sample of the autobiography of an probably of a coin. Okay, so in that particular autobiography you have to imagine yourself to be a coin. Then you need to think, you need to apply your thoughts, your senses, that what happens in the life of a coin. I know the coins do not have any life, but throughout the journey of a coin, you have to relate to that. If I were a coin, what are the things that could happen with me? With a coin, what things happen? It is produced in a mint, then it is sent from this place to that place, from one person's hand to another person's hand. Sometimes the coins fall from our hands, other people step on it. So these are the things, and you need to apply your own imagination also, because you are thinking yourself to be the coin. You have to use the first person, because you are writing autobiographical narrative, you are using the first person. I hope you remember I. The plural form is we. So you have to write the things as if you are the coin. Suppose I was born in a mint on 4th June 2020. I am 12 years old, or here 1 year old. I am a 5 rupee coin. This type of thing, you just go through the topic, whatever topic will be provided, you go through it and you will definitely get quite a few ideas from that. And then in the homework portion, I have designed some assignments for you. Do prepare those. few homeworks have been provided. I am not asking you to do all those things within just 1 week, but start doing all those things. The exercises from your book, those must be done by the next Wednesday. Okay, the exercises from your book, those must be done by the next Wednesday. And if you face any problem, do let me know, because it is not possible to describe all the unseen compositions and reading comprehension. If you face any problem, obviously do let me know. Okay, and I will explain that thing for you. And do remember what I said about the study material of verb chapter. Delete the previous one, otherwise it is you who will be confused between two study materials. I have also removed it from the website, and I am going to upload a new one. Today's study material, actually new one means today's study material, that will consist of both the answers from verbs, from perfect tenses, from subject verb agreement, etc. Okay, so read the answers of verbs from that thing. Alright, now we are going to discuss subject verb agreement. To know about subject verb agreement, page number 100, I guess. Yes, to know about subject verb agreement, I think I should remind you of finite and non-finite verbs. I hope you remember, especially finite verbs. Finite verbs, which are finite verbs? The verbs which agree with the number and subject of number and person of the subject. Again, I am writing this down for you so that you can remember well. I eat chocolate. The subject here is in first person and singular number. Okay? When we make it plural, it remains eat. Don't think that when we make it plural, the verb is not changed, so it is not a finite verb. No, you have to apply another thing also. If I make it third person, if I use he, third person singular, it will be eats. Then chocolate. I am not writing down that word again. So it will be eats. From eat, it is becoming eats when the subject is changed into third person singular number. So sometimes due to the number and person, the verb remains unchanged. But don't think that okay, in one case it is remaining unchanged, so it is not finite. No, you have to apply another subject, another person, another number, and you have to check whether the verb is getting changed or not. See, in place of I, if I use he or she, then it will take eats, because after third person singular number in simple present tense, s is added to the verb at the end. Okay, so this is finite verb, and in subject verb agreement we are going to read about these things. How a finite verb takes the verb, which verb is taken by the finite verb in which case. Okay, so let's start. A verb must agree with its subject in number, as I mentioned. A scientist discovers new facts. A scientist means third person and singular number also. Then they are changing the number of the subject. They are making it plural. Scientists discover. Discovers become discover when the number of the subject is changed. Similarly, a verb must agree with its subject in person. I am happy, he is happy. See, the be verb has been used here. In case of first person singular number it is taking the verb am. But if I change it into third person singular number, it is taking is. Right after he, we place is. And if I make it third person plural number, they. Number is also changed and the person is also changed. They are happy. Now it is taking the verb are. Okay, so in this way the finite verbs agrees with the finite verbs, they agree with the subject's number and person. They get changed. according to these things. Okay, generally singular subject takes singular verb, plural subject takes plural verb. The verb may also change its form according to the person of the subject. As I mentioned, number and person. Okay. Okay, generally we use the verb after the subject. As I have done this. I eat. This is the verb, this is the subject, and the verb has been placed just after the subject. Okay, so in this case it becomes very easy to connect the verb with the subject and to know which verb should be used, eat or eats or whatever it is. Because they are placed side by side, you can easily connect them to each other. But in some cases the verb is not, the case is not that much easy. The verb is not placed just after the subject. In some cases the verb is placed, a little far away from the subject. For example, in your book also you can find the condition of these books is not good. The condition of these books is not good. Okay, let me write this down. And do submit the worksheets. You have got only the month of August in your hand to rectify your mistakes. The mistake of taking for the way you have taken for granted the whole process of submission worksheet. Don't do that mistake again. Don't repeat it. Just keep submitting the worksheets properly. The submission also is important, and the performance of your performance in the worksheet, that is also important. Don't write rubbish and just submit it. You are not going to get marks for that. Okay, as well as the submission is important, besides the performance of your performance in the worksheet. Okay, what was I saying? The condition of these, excuse my handwriting, books is poor. So which one is the subject here? You may be confused, like this is the verb, so generally the subject is placed before the verb, so books is the subject. So this sentence is wrong because books is in plural number and this is taking singular verb. So Miss has written down something wrong. There may be a confusion. It is natural for the first time. But no, you have to understand the meaning. The condition of these books is poor. What is poor? Actually the condition is poor. How to find out the subject? You need to put forward, you need to frame questions with what and who before the verb. So what is poor? Who is not applicable here. We are not talking about any human being. So what is poor? The condition is poor. The condition of these books. But the subject is, this one is the subject. Okay. This one is the subject. The condition is the subject and we are using verb for this subject. And this is in singular number. Don't be confused that these books are in plural number and this is the subject. You need to find out the subject at first, then check the person and number of subject, and according to that you have to use the verb. Okay, this is the purpose of reading subject verb agreement. Got it? So as it is in singular number, third person singular number, it is taking the singular verb is. Alright? So in these cases where the verb actually is placed a little bit away from the verb, you have to be very much careful while choosing a perfect verb for that particular subject. Now the introductory there. Okay, generally the sentences which begin with the word there. There are 11 players in the cricket team. The sentences that begin with there, the verb is placed before the subject. Okay, generally we place in all other cases after the subject we place the verb, but the sentences which begin with there we place the verb before the subject. Okay, there are 11 players. So who are there? 11 players. 11 players are in this phrase is in plural number, third person plural number, so we are taking the verb are. Alright, now we are going to learn some rules regarding subject verb agreement. When two singular verbs are joined with and, suppose Rita and Geeta dash, you have to fill in the blank with the word sing, with the verb sing. Rita and Geeta dash singing in the competition. Is or are. Rita and Geeta. Rita is singular, Geeta is singular. But in this particular sentence, they have been joined together with the word and they have become plural. So Rita and Geeta are singing in the competition. If the subject consists of two or more, minimum two or more singular nouns or pronouns joined with and, it takes a plural verb. Okay, Rekha and Madhu are sisters, though I have no sister named Rekha. He and I were present in the meeting. Okay, but if two nouns, sometimes you will see that two nouns have been joined with the conjunction and, but they are referring to the same person or to the same thing. Suppose the actor and director Mr. Sahani dash present in the meeting. Is or are. The actor and director Mr. Sahani. Actually we are talking about a single person, Mr. Sahani. Actor and director, both the words are indicating a single person, Mr. Sahani. So in this case, when two things are joined together with the conjunction and, but they are referring to the same person or thing, obviously it means a singular thing, a singular noun or pronoun, and that takes a singular verb only. You will get example in your book also. The poet and novelist is no more. And generally when two nouns refer to a single person, they take a singular article, like the poet and the novelist. No, if it was written in that way, the poet and the novelist, it generally indicates two different persons. But when you are using one singular article, the poet and novelist, it indicates one singular person and takes singular verb. Is no more. Okay, the next rule, with, as well as. Another things can be there, with, along with, as well as, together with. You may note them down if you want. With, as well as, along with, together with. If these things are used when the subject consists of two nouns or pronouns joined with these words like with, along with, together with, as well as, the verb will definitely agree with the first subject. I think this has been written in your book. Yes, the verb generally agrees, not generally, must agree with the first subject. I, as well as you, am very happy. I, as well as you, dash very happy. Am or are. As well as has been used to join two pronouns in the subject, and in case of as well as, what do? The verb agrees with the first subject. Which one is the first subject? I, as well as you. I is the first subject, so it will be I, as well as you, am very happy, not are. On the other hand, when either or, neither nor, not only but also, these things are used to join two nouns or pronouns in the subject, which did I tell? Either or, neither nor, not only either or neither. Okay, remember very well. Either or, neither nor, not only only but also, these three things. When these things are used, the verb agrees with the second subject. Okay, not only I but also you. Not only I but also you dash playing cricket. Am or are. Not only I but also you. Which one is the second subject? You. In these cases, not only but also, either or, neither nor, the verb agrees with the second subject, and in this particular sentence the second subject is you. So not only I but also you are playing cricket, not am. Okay. Now in case of each, either, neither, only neither, no or, no nor. Okay, only, either, neither, everyone, one of the, these things indicate singular subject. Each of the boys. What does it mean? Each of the boys. Single subject actually it is. Each of the 50 boys means I am indicating every single boy. So these are the words which always take singular words. Each of the students of class 6 is attentive. Don't be confused if you are seeing like there are students, the word students, it is plural, so it will take plural verb. No, the word each has been used. So this is important. Be very careful. Once you memorize all these things, this is about, you need to memorize these rules. Actually, I can just explain, but you need to memorize these rules very well if you want to do well in this particular chapter. Now, okay, another thing. We generally know that when we use or, like tea or coffee, we are talking about a single thing. So, we have the assumption that whenever or is used, we will take a singular verb. That is okay. Or is used means we are indicating a single thing. And is used means we are indicating both the things. But if I say, wait. Or you dash go there. Wait a second. Okay, I think my phone call is coming. I need to disconnect it. Okay, yes. I or you dash go there. I know I have told you, and this is also true that nowadays we use the word will after everything. There is no compulsory rule to use shall after the first person. But here if I provide two options, shall or will, I or you dash go there. Okay, what will you use, shall or will? Suppose I am asking you, if you think that the verb will agree with I, you will have to use shall. Suppose I am saying, and if you think the verb, if the verb agrees with you, so you have to use will. So what do you think? We have used or. It means it is indicating only one person. Then with whom the verb will agree. Remember that whenever or is used, the verb agrees with the subject that is placed nearer to it. We will place the verb here, and which subject is nearer to the verb? This subject is nearer to the verb. So the verb agrees with the nearer subject when or is used. Okay, so it will be will. Alright. Now, much, a little, these are the words, they also always take singular verb. Much, a little, they always take singular verb. Just memorize this. Many, a few, several, both, these are the words, they always take plural verbs. Okay, these are the words many, a few, several, both, they always take plural verbs, and as usual there is a chart, very nice chart, very much concise, given in your book, which will help you to remember all the things. And here you can see all the things at once. This is very nice. Okay, I just like it. So go through the chapter very well. And one more thing, I was going through the exercise, and I think this rule is will be necessary for you when you will start to solve the exercise. I have provided the exercise in the homework portion. When and is used and it is followed by a negative word like no or not, like Sita and not her parents, like that, and is followed by a negative word like no or not, the verb agrees with the subject placed before, that comes before the negative word. Sita and not her parents. If you want to know about this rule, do let me know in the live class. And if you already know about it, I have already mentioned it, but if you want to know more about it, do let me know in the live class. But before that, I want you to solve the exercise. After that, we will have this discussion, okay, in the live class. And I am repeating the previous topic again and again about the static material of verb, because this is really important. I don't want any further confusion in future. I really missed to rectify the exercise 1 portion. I just forgot that exercise 1 also consisted of questions from transitive, intransitive and incomplete verbs. I have rectified quite a few answers there, and I have removed the previous study material. I told you to pause the video and immediately remove the previous study material on the chapter verbs right now, otherwise you will be confused, and don't tell me then, okay. And I have provided the answers of the chapter verbs in the present study material, so you will have to read those things from the present study material. The students who are constantly missing the videos, I'm sorry, I can't do anything for you, okay. This is your fault. I am informing you everything here. I will inform you again in the live class also, and I will try to remind you of this particular thing in the next video class also, and in the next live class also. If you don't attend the classes, that is really, there is nothing that I can do for you, okay. We'll meet in the live class. Bye bye for now, and don't forget to submit the worksheet and do the homeworks, okay. Do the homework.